Hello Spider Peeps, well it's AliExpress haul time, so let's see what we've got today in the delivery. Okay, so this is something I hinted at in another video, and they're crocodile clips, but they've got a magnetic base. I need a magnetic plate to put it on, but then I can use this to hold wires and stuff like that. So I saw a Kickstarter of this. I then found them for a lot cheaper already on AliExpress, so I wonder if people do Kickstarters to get more money for a project and then they sell them at cost afterwards, or they might have stole the idea of other Kickstarters. But actually I think these are good because I can use them to stick on the underside of my desk here, so when I've got issues with things like wires hanging down, I don't know if you can see this, just about, yeah, so I can clip things into that as well, which might be useful. So it's good having a crocodile clip that's a bit mobile. So they're good. Let's have a look at how much they were. £2.51, so not a lot, but then had to add VAT and delivery onto that, but I can't work out what the extra additions were. Not too bad, they were quite cheap. Now this goes with it as well, I think. Yeah, so this is a similar thing, but a bit more posable. And again, this was I first saw on a Kickstarter and thought, I wonder whether they can do something else. So when you're soldering two wires together, this is a nice way of holding it. Again, if there's a magnetic base on it. So this was a bit more expensive. It's a lot heavier. There's some aluminium castings in that by the looks of it. That was £6.70. But the Kickstarter on this was ridiculously expensive. Yeah, so that's the best way to buy these. I think sometimes people design things and then they say, we'll do a Kickstarter just to raise the money for initial costs maybe, and then sell them afterwards. I don't know how it works, but yeah, that's well made, that is. I like that. This hinge might be useful for other things as well, if I were to repurpose this, because it's all screwed on, there's no welding, so it's quite nice. Yeah, I like that. So I think that's it for these magnetic helping hand things. All right, so this is a just a PC fan, and this was something that I added. There was something else that was the real reason I went onto AliExpress. It was a little bag to put SmallRig stuff in, and I've ordered the bag, and that's the only thing that's not arrived yet. But these were just like add-on purchases. Now a while ago I got this little thing, 3D printed this, which is a low profile solder extractor. So I think you put some carbon filter on that, put that on there, and then I think I've got another bit there that fits in, and you plug that in and you can have it as an extractor fan with a switch there, which I quite like the design of. So I bought one of these cheap to have a play with that. Obviously I'll have to cut this off and wire it to its own little plug, but yeah, that's why I bought that. Neat little solder extractor. I'll link to the STL for that down in the description. At least I've got a bag to put all of that in now and keep my kit stuff together, so I don't come to build it and haven't got everything there. And of course I then had to buy an LED one, didn't I? This was a bit more expensive. Well, let's just check the price of that, the one fan. So that was £1.79. I probably could have got that cheaper there. It's going to be plus VAT as well, so 20% on that. Yeah, so that was that. And I decided at the same time I'd buy an RGB one because, you know, I'm into LEDs. So I might use this instead. I assume that there's a separate driver for RGB. I mean, that's 3-wire. That looks the right sort of thing. I've never played with RGB inside a PC. But yeah, so that's another thing for me to play about with at another time. I'm going to see whether I can power that without using the standard PC cards and stuff to do it, however that works. That was a bit more expensive, that one. Well, yeah, £3.82. Not that bad, plus 20% again. So that's something else to play with. I might do a video on that, I might not. I don't really have PCs. I've got a couple of PCs I use for specific things. They're low power things. I've got nothing that would justify having RGB in them. But if I did PCs and not Macs, you could be certain that my PC would be lit up. What else have I got? All right, this is another SmallRig thing. So SmallRig have done camera rig stuff for a while, and they're a lot cheaper than the Manfrotto style stuff. but I've found them really well made, so I use them all over the place. I don't just use them for camera stuff. Ironically, I don't have anything on my setup here set up in a rig, but I am thinking of doing it, getting something more permanent and get a way to move the camera up and down a bit more than I've got at the moment, which, well, I've got nothing, but I've got loads of these SmallRig stuff. They always come with fittings and whatnot. So I've also ordered like a little SmallRig branded kit bag to put these in. So see, I used some the other day as well in another video when I was trying this thing. You may or may not have seen this. Just set up a little simple rig. Most of this is SmallRig anyway, so apart from that, that came with the device. But yeah, so I want to keep all of these, so when I have to knock up a little rig for something, I can keep all the different parts in a bag. So that's the SmallRig. Have I got to the end of it now? I've got one more thing. Quote Apple, one last thing. So you might have seen another video where I got, where's it gone? Where I bought one of these. And it came with one of these plugs. So I know I've bought coffee machines and stuff that have come with Europe plugs on, and there's been an adapter. So I thought, I bet Ali sell the adapters. They can get death adapters. But this one seems a little bit better. I mean, they're still unplug, but I think we can pop that in there. Yeah, and that's a little bit more permanent. It's fused. Wonder whether it really is fused though, whether it's a fake fuse somehow. Let's try. I mean, it wouldn't have been fused if you just used the 2-pin anyway. Let's connect this up. So if I put one in there and one of those should be live. Okay, well, not live, one of those should be connected. So if I do the other one, that one should be connected and that one's not. So what happens if I unplug this? So this is working. Dayway. No, take it all back. Yeah, so that's wired up. The fuse, I mean, whether the fuse is a real one or not, I have no reason now to believe the fuse isn't a real one. But yeah, the fuse was in the circuit properly. So yeah, a useful addition. So let's just test that. So pop that there. Plug him in there. And let's wait for the sparks. Yeah, that works all right. So that's a much safer way of using that plug, I think. I don't like the death adapters, which have got multiple different sockets in. I think this is a bit more permanent, but also I can swap it round. So I think next time I order from Ali, I'll probably order a couple more of those. How much was this? That was 98p. So yeah, VAT and delivery on top of that, of course. So £1.20 or something like that. So I think that is my AliExpress haul. If you want to see what I do it, I don't know about other videos. This might well be on another video and this might be on another video. But stay subscribed and you might see what I'll do with them. Bye. These fit on there. Just about. Keep them together anyway.